Got my tablet with me, and I want to basically take you through the system that you need in order to scale past that initial $5,000–$10,000 in your business, $5,000–$10,000 a month. And in order to do this correctly, you really need to come up with a way of systemizing lead generation. I'm going to talk through some common problems around the difference between lead and sales, about understanding basically marketing 101 of a sales funnel and how to actually implement that and what it means, and then actually the implementation of a system in order to create lead generation for your business. And once you've got this down packed, you're really going to help you basically take you to that next level, because you've got a way of actually generating a lot of people wanting to contact you and reach out into your business, that then you can actually start to nurture them in a way to make more sales. If you haven't got the leads coming in, there's no point thinking about sales, because you've got no one coming through to actually show interest in your product or service. So let's start by going on the tablet and let me walk you through the difference basically between leads and sales. Leads and sales are definitely linked, but people often get them confused, and there's a big difference between the two, and you really need to understand this difference in order to really understand the system here that's going to really get you to that next level. The reason they're linked is because, as you can see here, you've got leads at the top of the funnel, as you can see, and the sales is down the bottom. They're definitely interlinked, but understanding how you talk to someone who is a lead versus talk to someone who is a sale, or trying to convert that sale, is very different. To make this easy for you, I want to understand, leads are basically people that have shown interest in your business. Obviously, they've given you some sort of their details, or they've made contact in a way that they're showing interest, they wish to work with you. Whereas a sale is someone that you've then made comfortable enough, as we'll show in this training, in order to actually convert. And the difference here and how you need to think about them is leads are about showing value to them. In order to get a lead and make a lead actually interested in your business, it's about showing value. It's about giving value. Whereas if we go down and talk about sales, what we're really talking about here is we're inspiring them to act. And we're usually inspiring them to act because we've showcased that we're able to solve the problem that they're having. And that's what business is all about, right? It's about having a solution to someone's problem, whether it's a product or service. And in order to make them get down to that bottom there and actually convert them into a sale, we need to make sure that we're actually inspiring them enough to feel confident enough to act with us and say, yeah, these guys get me, these guys can solve the issue that I'm having, I'm happy with them. So that's basically the difference. And that's what I want to clarify straight out of the door of how you need to think differently about leads and sales. But now let's go through the actual funnel, and let me basically show you marketing 101 and how to integrate this into your business to really improve the amount of leads and therefore sales you're going to actually get. So this is what's obviously commonly referred to as a sales funnel. As you can see, there's bigger area at the top because there's more people. And then there's a smaller at the bottom because usually less people get funneled through that sequence in order to actually make a sale with you. What we commonly refer to people at the very top who have only just get to know who you are and what you're actually offering them, they're usually referred to as a cold audience, which means they're not really aware of who you are, and that's what you need to sort of give value there in order to get to build that relationship to the point where they get to know you. Once they move down into the funnel, they become what we usually like to refer to as a warm audience. And a warm audience is usually someone who you've given more inspiration, more education and information to them, to the point where they now really like you. So they've gone from knowing you to liking you. And the final step in order to make them to actually purchase and convert them into a sale is to get them to trust you. The know, like, and trust sequence, which correlates directly to getting them from a cold audience to a warm audience to a hot audience. And we break them down into different audiences like this because different audiences, then we can target them differently. And I'm going to show you that at the very end of actually implementing a funnel correctly into your business, what we do differently for a cold audience, for a warm audience, to a hot audience, in order to get them to go from getting to know us, getting to like us, and finally getting to trust us enough to make that action and actually make a purchase. Now, the next step, as you can see in the diagram, is really about understanding how this actually relates to your business. And as we can see, at the top of funnel is when we're actually generating leads. Now, leads is basically as many people as we want that are sort of our target market that are interested, and getting them to interact with us so we have them there. So if we're looking to run some sort of campaign, or we're doing some sort of marketing that we're actually generating leads, we're looking for quite a few, because we're thinking about the funnel, that less and less people are going to end up in that sales conversion at the very bottom. So if we're looking at this in terms of numbers, we're looking at, say for example, a nice round number of 1,000 people. Say we have 1,000 leads that we've generated and they move down to the next level. So now we're talking about opportunities, and we're usually looking, maybe a cutoff of 20% of the amount of people from those initial leads really get down to the next level and interact with our next funnel stage that we've set up. And maybe that's only 200 people get to there. And maybe, if we're talking about the next step, which is prospects, these prospects are people that have hopped on a call with us and made some sort of further commitment to us. So we know they're quite interested. And, of that initial 1,000 leads, we're looking there at only 100 people. That's 10% of the numbers. And for people that aren't familiar with this, they're thinking, oh, well, I've lost 900 people. But we haven't, because at the end of the day, if we get 50 clients or 50 customers from 1,000 leads, and if you think about that, think about how many 50 customers or 50 clients could be for your business. That's quite a lot of money. That's quite a lot of business that can actually be operating through you and generating revenue. And I know a lot of businesses that 50 clients or 50 customers can make a significant difference to how their business is operating and how much revenue they're actually looking at generating, for that month, for example. So this is how we need to think about it. We need to think about getting a large number of leads and pushing them through the process to funnel out the people that aren't really that interested until we get to the people that are really interested and really want to actually work with us and allow us to solve the problem, solve their problem. And at the end of the stage, we may only be looking at 50 customers. And that's only, that's a conversion ratio of 5%, which isn't too bad. If you aim for 5%, that's a good number to aim for. And in different industries, it's going to be different. In some industries, 5% is very high. You're doing very well if you've got a 5% conversion ratio from lead to sale. If you're in some industries, though, it's the opposite. Maybe we're looking more at 7 or 10%. But I think you need to look at them not in terms of how many people have you necessarily lost during that funnel from the initial 1,000, because this is how the funnel works. And I'll refer you back to a quote from Seth Godin, where he says, it's okay to say this product is not for you. And we really need to think about that in terms of when we're doing our marketing, that we're not out there trying to target everyone. We're really setting up these funnels to generate leads, then break them down to the people that we really want to work with and really want to be good customers and clients for us. It's okay to say this product's not for you. We're out there to serve someone, and in this case, it's just not you. That's not a bad thing. It's just making sure that we get the people that we actually want to work for right down the bottom then. And that'll really help our conversion ratios get to the point where our customers and clients are the people that are looking to really spend money with us and allowing us to solve their problems. And we're not really working hard to work on people that aren't that interested. In order to make this really effective for your business, what you really need to start thinking about is, okay, I know now that I need a lot of leads, and then I'm able to nurture them down to actually find the people that are wanting to work with me. Great, that's the first step. And making sure that you've separated the difference between a lead and a sale. But what we want to do now is make sure that, because we know there's a lot of people at the very top of the funnel there, of those initial 1,000 people that aren't going to end up as customers or clients, we don't want the lead generation sequence. We don't want our ability to actually systemize and generate leads to be very expensive for us in either cost or time. So as you can see in the slide here, creating a lead generation system, we want it to work for us. Lead generation shouldn't take up a lot of our time because, as I've sort of pointed out there, only a small number of the end result will end up being our customers. So we want to be able to create some sort of system, ideally in using digital assets in today's day and today's age, where we're able to keep the costs down but still produce a high amount of value. And that's important. Remember in slide number 1 where I said what we're looking to do in order to get leads is to provide value and give value. So what we're doing here is we're doing something of value to people that people are interested in, so we're able to create that lead, but it's not something that is going to take up a lot of our time or a lot of cost in order to generate those leads necessarily. We want to be able to keep the lead cost as low as possible, and that gives us more leeway then to not only generate more leads, but also make sure that we can spend the time and money that we're looking to spend on the people further down the funnel, so we're actually able to get that sale. So what we've done there, if we refer back to the funnel, is we've made it easier for ourselves to generate a lot of people at the top of the funnel, a lot of people in those lead section. We've made it very easy and cost and time effective for us, which gives us more ability to spend time and cost on the bottom of the funnel and get those people that are very interested inspire them to make that action in order to be our customer or client. Finally, when we're creating a lead generation system, it's important to note that we want this to be as automatic as possible. If we're doing some sort of digital asset, for example, in order to generate leads, we don't want this to be something that takes, again, time for us to do. The more automated we can make this process, the more beneficial it is for us to be able to actually generate more revenue and really get past that 10, 15K a month and jump up to the next level again. So what does this actually look like in a business? Well, again, if we're thinking about the lead generation at the top, we're thinking about providing value. And the way I like to think about this is to provide education. If we're providing education, that's a way of providing value to someone, to talking directly to our ideal customers in a way that they're getting something out of it where they feel appreciative of what you're offering. And that also is a great way of making sure that we're providing education to people that are within the means to get down to our customers and clients. They're interested in a certain topic, and providing education on that topic means you've cut out the people that aren't really as interested, and you're making it as easy to make sure those leads are very high quality leads, so you're able to hopefully improve the amount of people that get down to that client customer number. Maybe you're able to improve that ratio from what you're currently doing of 2%. You're able to provide good education, really get targeted leads, which gets you up to 5%. Which could be big revenue if we're talking about, depending on what your business actually does. So for a cold audience, education is what I like to say. So whatever you do in your business, if you're able to provide some sort of education and value to people, that's the great way in order to generate leads for your business. If we then move down to the warm audience, what I like to talk about here is offer them some sort of inspiration. So what we've done is we've provided education so they're interested and they like what we're giving. But providing some sort of inspiration to act as a warm audience is the way to get them to the next step. If you're able to provide inspiration, they're now thinking, hey, I can do this, or I really want to do this in my business, or I really want to do this in my personal life to make the change that I'm looking for. And you're providing inspiration for them to want to act. And once they have that desire to act, once they're aware of the solutions that you can offer based on your products and services, you just need to get them to the final step, which is getting them to actually make a decision in order to want to make an action with you. So in that final step, for a hot audience, what I like to describe this to businesses is to provide reassurance. And reassurance can come in many forms. It can come in things like money back guarantees. It can come in things like testimonials or other case studies that people can see and make sure they get trust from other people saying, hey, yeah, this has helped people similar to me. It can also help me. So if you're thinking about how to implement this into your business, this is what I like to say. In order to generate leads, provide a lot of value in an educational way. That ensures that you're targeting the people you're looking to target, and then you want to bring them down the funnel by inspiring them to act, so they feel like you're the person to solve their problem. Because you've then inspired them to act, you're able then to offer some sort of reassurance, which really gets them over that line to become customers and clients. So if this has been valuable to you and you think you either could implement this in your business, or you're looking for other strategies and tactics to either implement in your business in order to grow to that next level, feel free to click the button below. That will basically take you to a link where you can book in a free 15-minute conversation with me. I've allocated some time every week to have some conversation with business owners and help them with either implementing some new marketing systems or ability to basically increase their revenue through some effective marketing or sales systems. So feel free to book it in, and I'll talk to you then.